subscribe, hype, like, click the notification bell and turn on all notifications. And donate with a super thanks donation in the comments section below for the unfiltered, unapologetic SeanzViewEnt, your home for WWE news, rumors, and backstage chaos. This is where gossip gets exposed around the clock. Now, here's your host, the brash SeanzViewEnt.
WWE news, rumors, gossip, speculation, and headlines right here for each and every one of you. Now, let me tell you this. Right at the top of the video, since it is Sunday, we need to tell, we need to ask, we need to get it all out right in the forefront for the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers. What was the show of the week? Was it Raw? Was it NXT? Was it SmackDown? Was it TNA? Was it AEW? Was it ROH? Was it NJPW? Was it AAA? That's a lot of wrestling. That's a lot of highlights. There's a lot to watch. There's a lot to take in. That's a lot to think about. But I want from you in the comment section below, because again, it is Sunday. What to you stood out? What to you struck you? What made maybe Raw the show of the week? What was entertaining about SmackDown? Was the expectations high for AEW this week? What about TNA? I want you down in the comment section right now to tell me what you think was the number one show of the week. Because without you, there is no Sean's View. And again, so important, if you want me to stay on YouTube, become a channel member today. Donate below with a super thanks donation. Or remember to just simply hype and like the video right now. Again, viewers, I read all the comments. I respond to them. I react to them. It all boils down to each and every one of you as we prove it true to those of you that come on here multiple times a day and every single way. Now, ladies and gentlemen, major announcement. According to rumors and gossip online this morning, a major announcement coming out about WWE and the authority roles, the figures that make the decisions, the choices, the overrulings. And we're not talking about actually, in this video, we're actually not talking about Triple H or the TKOs of the world, ladies and gentlemen. No. What we're talking about is a new commish. We have not seen a commissioner in the WWE for a very long time. It has been several years because usually it's SmackDown general manager or Raw general manager. But it would appear as if the WWE will be changing course. That WWE could very well announce that recent chaos on Raw and SmackDown could force the board of directors to create a new position with authority over brands. As we all know, Adam Pearce remains the Raw general manager. However, there's a lot of question and doubt about Nick Aldis remaining the SmackDown general manager. As we brought up yesterday, there could be 50-50 co-GMs of SmackDown, that being Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. However, neither the SmackDown GM or the Raw GM will possess complete control anymore. The new WWE Commissioner will supervise both shows, review decisions made by each general manager, and step in whenever Raw or SmackDown management fails to maintain order, which seemingly happens a lot. This storyline could begin after several major incidents involving wrestlers attacking officials, championship matches being changed without approval, and Raw and SmackDown stars repeatedly appearing on the opposite brands. Triple H can open Raw by announcing that WWE management has lost confidence in allowing each general manager to operate without oversight. He could explain that Pearce and Aldis will continue running their respective shows, but every major decision must now answer to the new commissioner of the WWE. The commissioner will have the authority to do the following: approve or cancel championship matches, add stipulations to matches, make things more chaotic or unpredictable, make it must-see TV, suspend wrestlers from either brand, overrule Adam Pearce or Nick Aldis, authorize trades between Raw and SmackDown, move championships between brands, remove either general manager from power, select challenges for major premium live events. The new commissioner immediately creates tension by announcing that Raw and SmackDown will now be judged against each other. Whichever brand delivers the stronger ratings, ticket sales, and premium live events will receive advantages. The advantages, ladies and gentlemen, are big. The losing brand could lose draft picks, championship opportunities, or even roster members. Adam Pearce initially accepts the decision because he believes Raw can outperform SmackDown. Nick Aldis strongly objects, arguing that the commissioner is interfering with his authority and attempting to control decisions that should belong to the SmackDown general manager. The commissioner then makes the first controversial ruling. A major SmackDown star is ordered to appear on Raw. A Raw Championship contender is transferred to SmackDown. And Pearce approves the move. All this, once again, refuses. So you can see why there would have to be a general manager, a GM brought in, because there would obviously be a change. There would obviously be confliction. There would obviously be doubt. There would obviously be questions of all of this, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, the commissioner quietly manipulates both brands against each other. Raw wrestlers begin invading SmackDown. SmackDown stars retaliate on Raw. Championship matches are disrupted. Pearce and Aldis ultimately blame each other, while the commissioner continues gaining more control. The storyline eventually reveals that the commissioner was appointed because the WWE board believes Triple H, Pearce, and Aldis have allowed too much chaos before SummerSlam. The commissioner's real mission is not simply to supervise the brands. It is to determine whether Adam Pearce or Nick Aldis deserve to remain employed. And at SummerSlam, the commissioner announces a Raw versus SmackDown elimination match. If Raw wins, Adam Pearce keeps his position and receives control of the next WWE draft. If SmackDown wins, Nick Aldis gets to keep his position and gain the rights to select any Raw superstar for SmackDown. The losing general manager will be removed. However, during the match, Pearce and Aldis discover that the commissioner has been deliberately creating problems on both shows to justify replacing them. And for the first time, the Raw and SmackDown general managers actually work together. They work in tandem. They work as a unit, ladies and gentlemen. The commissioner refuses to step down and reveals that the board has granted the position a guaranteed contract, and that means neither general manager can fire the commissioner. The only person with enough authority to remove them is Triple H, or the WWE board itself. This sets up a larger storyline. Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis remain rivals. Both still want their brand to succeed, but they must occasionally work together to keep the commissioner from taking complete control of WWE. The commissioner can then become WWE's central authority figure across Raw and SmackDown, while Pearce and Aldis continue handling the weekly operations of their individual brands. And again, for viewers, fans, and subscribers, it all boils down to each and every one of you guys. We're going to be giving you hourly content around the clock. We will never stop for you to give you the hottest, the latest, the greatest, the newest, the most definitive. And again, with a new commissioner being banned, the commissioner could be banned if the storyline takes on a whole nother course. However, leaked WWE audio reveals secret new commissioner threatening to turn the WWE inside out and absolutely upside down. Viewers, fans, and subscribers, as a shocking new commissioner will be realized and recognized. Now, you're probably asking, well, Sean, who will be named the new commissioner of the WWE? Well, there's a few names that is being rumored, not confirmed, a few names being rumored and speculated online right now. Because if you have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a non-wrestling role, perhaps potentially taking over Nick Aldis, who was taken out, who was victimized by Gunther on SmackDown last Friday night on the USA Network's The Blue Brand, then you got to wonder who will step up. Who will step in? Because you see, it's not just about control. It's not just about power. It's not just about making matches. It's about looking over both Raw and SmackDown, which will be a tough duty, which will be a hell of a thing, viewers, fans, and subscribers. But if there's any man that can do it, if there's any man that can have the resource, if there's any man that can look over Raw and SmackDown and rule with an iron fist in the company, let's stop all the suspense, viewers, fans, and subscribers, because before the new SmackDown or before the new Raw and SmackDown commissioner is announced, I want your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. I want your answers. Who do you think should be the new commissioner of the WWE to oversee both Raw and SmackDown on a week-to-week basis? Obviously, this will have intangibles. This will have all-out. This will have structure, or maybe it will have absolute dominance. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are receiving word right now that according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, Charlotte Flair walks in on CM Punk wearing a robe backstage at a WWE live event. CM Punk was found another way to turn a WWE backstage moment into complete chaos, and Charlotte Flair caught the whole thing on camera in this bizarre scene. Fans tear into WWE over Baron Corbin's surprise SmackDown return. WWE SummerSlam ticket sales look brutal with two-night stadium show closing in. WWE had no real intentions of signing Jack Perry before AEW re-signing, and WWE has discussed. They have discussed, ladies and gentlemen, turning the Royal Rumble into a two-night event. Now, we've talked about that multiple times here on this show, just as soon as yesterday. But when is that going to happen? When is that going to transpire? Brutus, the Baba Beefcake, allegedly dated China when she was a stripper prior to WWE career. Eyewitnesses, guys. Oh, we got breaking news coming in, guys. Again, this is why we do multiple videos a day around the clock, and why we will never stop for all of you. Eyewitness backstory about Missy Beefcake's altercation with Linda Hogan. Brutus Beefcake and Hulk Hogan's sexual relationship rumors have been shut down, and Brutus Beefcake's ex-wife claims he cheated on her with Missy Hyatt. Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, which is in the headlines this morning. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers in from there. Rhea Ripley has provided an injury update ahead of WWE SummerSlam, as it looks like she will not be wrestling or competing at SummerSlam. And AJ Styles, is he going to AEW? Is he going to wrestle for AEW, or is he fully, literally retired? Well, AJ Styles explains why he refuses to bash AEW. And Awesome Kong, we haven't heard that name in a while. Awesome Kong, who is one of the big names, one of the top names in TNA Wrestling, says that she earned less than a McDonald's manager in TNA. Well, hopefully they're paying a little bit more than that today. Ex-WWE star recalls backstage praise after infamous Seattle Supersonics promo. Also, Hangman Adam Page, as we all saw on his Collision return, vowed that he will never compete for the AEW World title. The WWE are finalizing plans for the Survivor Series and the Royal Rumble host cities, although it can change. It can go in another direction. It can alter. And with Cody Rhodes and CM Punk set to team up on Saturday night's main event, Madison Square Garden, will we learn of the new commissioner on that night? Will it be an unprecedented announcement? Your thoughts, your comments, your emotions, your details on all of that. Viewers, this is where we are. This is what we do. We provide it for each and every one of you. There is expected, once this commissioner is named in the WWE, it is expected that there's going to be a heated confrontation with the WWE Commissioner, because remember the Raw GM angle where it was the anonymous Raw general manager and we didn't know who was behind it. We didn't know who was doing it. We didn't know who was making the matches. It was just a laptop with a voice and with an email. Well, this new SmackDown and Raw Commissioner could pale in comparison to this, but it would not be via a laptop. It would not be via email. It may be via on the screen, on the Titantron. But we don't know who's behind it. We don't know who the voice is. It's going to be a little distorted. You won't be able to tell it. You won't be able to see. Well, you'll be able to see it, but you might not be able to visualize it because, well, we ain't going to know the identity, guys. It's all about question. It's all about the identity. It is all about the perplexity. This could be a massive guessing game as to who the new general manager very well could be for both Raw and SmackDown. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the next episode, we will unveil the names that are being considered for the new commissioner of the WWE. And again, viewers, as Vince McMahon used to say, it's time to shake things up once again. We are in the summertime. Things are looking up. But is this going to be the disruption that the WWE needs at this stage of the game? Ladies and gentlemen, plenty more to come right here on this very show. We got multiple uploads, multiple videos. Remember to keep it locked on this channel. Always check up and search SeanzView on YouTube. That way you're always in the know on the latest, the hottest, the greatest, and newest. Because I truly do believe in the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers. Subscribe.